A very good morning, one and all. Welcome to yet another joint meeting of Toastmasters Club of Storytellers and Leaders Connect Toastmasters Club. Let us unmute ourselves and give a round of applause to this wonderful Sunday morning and to ourselves. Every weekend when we join together at a Toastmasters forum, this is our commitment to ourselves that we want to spend our time in a fruitful way, not only learn, not only have fun, but learn along the way as well. So today we have got a fabulous lineup of speakers and special sessions for you all to witness. I would first up want to have a quick word with the guests who are there with us in today's meeting. So can the guests raise their hand on Zoom and I'll circle through them one after the other. Okay, I have seen Rohit already. Anyone else who is a guest for today's meeting? Harkirat as well. All right, so I'll start with Rohit. Rohit, why don't you share what do you do and how did you get to know about Toastmasters?
Hi, hello everyone. My name is Rohit, and I'm a CA finance student. And along with it, I'm a working professional with HT Media. And I got to know it through my friend who is a member of TMND, Toastmasters of New Delhi Club, and that's all.
Wonderful, Rohit. Thank you so much for being with us. Hope you have a great time. I had seen another. I'd seen another guest raise his hand. I think it was Harkirat. So, Harkirat, why don't you tell us what do you do and how did you get to know about Toastmasters?
Hi, Diptendu. Uh, Thank you for sharing the link with us. I am a I'm I'm a professional working in insurance industry, and I'm an ex-member of TMWD, and I'm just wanted to start my journey again with Toastmaster. So this is my second time with this group.
Wonderful. As they say, second time's the charm. I have just modified that saying, but I hope you have a good time at today's meeting. We have got some wonderful Toastmasters from other Toastmasters Club as well. I can right now, skimming through the screen, I can see Devinder. Devinder, why don't you share your association with Toastmasters with us in a few seconds, please? Okay, Devinder is there. Yeah, Devinder. So while Devinder thinks, or probably grapples with the audio at his end, since we can't hear him, I can see Shruti Jan. Shruti, would you like to take a few seconds and share your association with Toastmasters?
Hello everyone, very good morning to all. So it has been around 8 months since I'm a part of Toastmaster Club of New Delhi, and it has been a great experience. So yeah, I would say that I'm in work in progress and learning gradually with time. So I'm really looking forward for today's meeting. Thank you everyone.
Wonderful, wonderful. So once again, let's have a round of applause for the guests who are new into the Toastmasters community and for the members from other Toastmasters club around Delhi NCR region. We are going to have a fabulous session today. I would now like to hand the virtual stage to the Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Mohit Lodhi, who will be taking the proceedings forward. Toastmaster Mohit is a recent addition to the Toastmaster community, and we have heard from him in table topics and in other roles as well. And it certainly is an insightful experience listening to Toastmaster Mohit. And Mohit, I hope you're all set to take the meeting forward. The virtual stage is yours. Welcome you with a round of applause.
Thanks, Toastmaster President Ditendu. Hi everyone. So today we are uh, today we are just giving you the theme like I believe we have all the summer vacation, right? And the children do have. And for this is my theme today, and I'm going to say about this only. So it doesn't matter which part of the country you are, you can feel the summer vibe, right? Result just got declared. Yeah, summer vacation has just started and the kids are busy planning what all they are going to do during the vacations. And we, the grown up, we, well, we are just a tad bit jealous, aren't we, with those kids? Remember, When we were in the school, we used to envy the adults because they did not have to worry about exams or waking up early for schools. Now, here we are, wishing we could turn back time and experience those carefree days again. It's like being on the sideline, watching the game of childhood go, and secretly longing to be a part of it once more. But hey, let's take a trip down memory lane, shall we? Remember that exhilarating feeling on the last day of the exams we have. It was like stepping into a world of endless possibility. Whether you are acing your tests or barely scraping by, everyone looked forward to those precious summer vacations we have. Now, let me tell you about my summer escapes. First thing first, it was all about freedom, no more nagging about studying, just pure unaltered fun, cricket matches, grandma stories, playing chess, carom, etc. Right? So, who else want to share their summer stories like I do have? As much as we would love to dwell in nostalgia, we have got a meeting to run. For the benefit of our guests, let me give you a quick rundown of how things work here at Toastmaster. So, today we have three sessions in Toastmaster. The first session is table topic. The second session is guest speaker, and the third session is as a prepared speech we have. So for that, now I would like to call general evaluator of the day, Ankan Kumar. Ankan Kumar is medical technologist, perfusionist at Fortis Escort, and he enjoys reading, writing, and enhancing communication skill through Toastmaster. So let's welcome Ankan.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mohit, and good morning to fellow Toastmasters. I'll be general evaluator of today's meeting. And so, why evaluation is important to ensure ourselves that meeting wasn't just a shot in the dark, and to hold a mirror to ourselves. But evaluation is teamwork, and like every team, uh, I have three members in my team known as tag team players: timer, counter, and grammarian. So I like to introduce timer. Today's timer will be played by Toastmaster Sagar. So if he would like to introduce himself.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ankur. Hi everyone. My name is Sagar, and I'll be playing the role of a timer today. And as a timer, I'll be helping the speakers expressing their thoughts in a specific time. And my duty is to time the prepared speeches, table topics, and the speech evaluations during this meeting, and alert the speakers of their time interval using the colored flashcards. So there will be three flashcards. The first will be green, second is yellow, and the third is red. The green color indicates the qualifying time, the yellow color indicates the target time, and the red color indicates the maximum time. And the speaker will have a grace period of 30 seconds to complete their speech after the red card is flashed. So for the prepared speeches, the time allotted is 5 to 7 minutes, and the green card is flashed at 5 minutes. The yellow card is flashed at 6 minutes, and the red card is flashed at 7 minutes. For the table topics, the time allotted is 1 to 2 minutes. The green card will be flashed at 1 minute. The yellow card will be flashed at 1 minute 30 seconds, and the red card will be flashed at 2 minutes. And for the speech evaluations, the time allotted is 2 to 3 minutes. The green card will be flashed at 2 minutes. The yellow will be flashed at 2 minute 30 seconds, and the red card will be flashed at 3 minutes. So that's all. And I wish all the best to all the speakers today. And I'll come with my report in the second half when called upon by the general evaluator. Back to you, Rosemary.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sagar. So my next team player would be our counter, which will be played by Toastmaster Ashish. So if you would like to introduce yourself, Toastmaster Ashish.
Thank you, Jeannie Ankan. My name is Ashish Agarwal. Happy to play a counter role today. You all would have driven a vehicle. Imagine if you are driving and at every 10 meters there is a speed breaker. How would you feel? I'm sure you all will feel frustrated because the car or the vehicle which you are driving will not have any momentum. The speed breaker will kill the speed every time. The same thing is done by ahs and ums in our speeches. So whenever we are using while speaking mm, and trying to think around what specifically are we going to speak next, the flow of our speech get broken very badly. Today my role is to count all such filler words, and when GE will ask at the end of the meeting, I'll be sharing the list of the filler words used by all of us. And my challenge to all of you is to make my job very difficult. Let's use as fewer filler words as possible. And one tip for that is that whenever you feel like you are thinking and you feel like using a filler, use a pause instead. That's a very good way by which I have learned to avoid using the filler word. Also, as a part of my role at the end of the meeting, I'll be sharing the flawless speaker, the speaker who doesn't use any filler word. So may the list be longer. Back to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ashish. Our next team player would be Grammarian, which is being played by Toastmaster Lavina. So, Toastmaster Lavina, would you like to introduce yourself?
Thank you, Toastmaster Ankur. So I am playing the role of grammarian today. As a grammarian, it is my duty to closely listen to each and every speaker throughout the length of the meeting. I will be closely monitoring and making a note of the good usages and the not so good usages of English grammar. At the end of the meeting, in the evaluation section, I will be sharing my report. Also, as the grammarian, the word of the day for today is celebrate. That's the word of the day. The meaning is really, as in very common, as in to feel happy and joyful about an event. So that's the word of the day today. That is celebrate. I would that's about my task, and at your end, I think your task would be to make use of the word of the day as much as possible throughout your speeches. Thank you, and over to you, Toastmaster Ankur.
Thank you, Toastmaster Lavina. So, this was my tag team. We will be presenting our report at the later half of the meeting. But before ending my session, and to celebrate today's meeting, we have a special session of 30 minutes, which will be presented by Toastmaster Ankur Oberai. So red card will be displayed at 30-minute marks uh, at the end of that special session, and it will be followed by 10 minutes of Q&A. So all of you are invited uh, to present your opinion and ask questions during those 10 minutes. So with this, my section today comes to an end, and I'll be presenting my report at the second half of the meeting. So stage is back to you, Toastmaster Mohit.
Thanks, Toastmaster Ankan. So now we are moving to our first session of table topic. Now we have a table topic session, which is a fun-filled session where members and guests can participate in impromptu speaking. For our table topic section, we have Toastmaster Saurabh Luthra. Saurabh Luthra is MBA candidate working in marketing and sales, enjoying playing cricket, making new friends, and reading non-fictional novels. Let's welcome Saurabh Luthra.
Hi everyone, my name is Saurabh and I'll be the table topic master for the day. To begin with, the basic purpose of table topic, uh, the basic purpose of table topic master is to facilitate an opportunity to the speakers and guests so that they can practice the impromptu speaking. I will introduce you a topic and call on speakers who will be given a time of roughly around 2 minutes to speak on the subject. So, yeah, I hope we can begin with it. Anyone who wants to start with it? Any raise of hands?
I think Parul raised her hand.
Hi, Saurabh. Toastmaster Saurabh. Before I raised my hand, Toastmaster Davinder did. So please call him first, then I'll take the second slot.
Sure. Just a second. Yeah. Sorry for the disturbance. Yeah. Uh, can you repeat the name of the person?
Yeah, it's Toastmaster Davinder. Yeah, he raised his hand first. He's in the meeting.
Okay, Devinder. Okay. Yeah. So, Devinder, the topic for you is stories are a reflection of thoughts. Stories are a reflection of thoughts. Toastmaster Devinder.
Devinder, you are not audible. I- Anyone? Anyone can hear Devinder?
No.
Let's move to the next person. By then, Devinder would be able to, I think, join that. Parul, the topic for you is brands building stories to connect. Brands build stories to connect. Toastmaster Parul.
I'm so sorry. Can you repeat it once more? I didn't listen to the first part clearly.
Brands build stories to connect. Brands build stories to connect. Toastmasters Parul.
Uh, I was watching a wonderful ad. In ad, there was a garden, not a garden technically, it was a desert. And in that entire desert, there was only one shower. Yes, I'm talking about the shower which we take every day. And what happened after that? There was a man who was taking bath, and he took bath straight for 30 minutes. He was enjoying like we do when we are taking shower. And after 30 minutes, what happened? The villagers came and they were standing for the water to drink. The ad symbolizes that we who are living, with all the facilities in urban areas, are taking advantage of all the resources which we have in the society. And the people, especially the less privileged people who do not have any resources, are stuck with the resources which we leave for them. The ad was by this ad was an initiative of climate change by Hindustan Unilever, and I loved it. I loved how they connect with the story, and how they showed that how much water consumption is important for us. Since that day, I avoid taking shower, not shower, but I use a bucket with a mug so that I am doing my part in saving the environment. And that's how I got reflected by this wonderful story. So yes, when it comes to brand, they do reflect the story. That's all from my side. Back to Toastmaster Saurabh.
Superb, superb, Parul. Very well explained and very well resonated with all of us since all of us use such products. So, anyone next? I think Pankaj is raising his hand.
That was a clap for Parul. However, I'm okay. I can be the next one.
Oh, okay, I think Deepak is in line. Sorry, we can take
Uh,
post Deepak.
yeah, it means if I have to be on a stage as a tabletop speaker, I'm totally okay with it.
Sure,
You want to
sure.
take Deepak first?
Are you okay going, Deepak?
Yes, please.
Okay. So you can take this topic. Stories are a reflection of thoughts. Stories are a reflection of thoughts. The stage is yours, Deepak.
Thank you, Saurav. Uh, yes. So, thoughts which comes in our mind. So, thoughts, the story, all the story basically comes from any of the thoughts. Thoughts can be it's negative or positive. So, it's depend on your thoughts. So, if you're taking any positive things in your minds, so your story will be like as you thought. So sometimes we thought negative, and our story can be our life, our uh, decision, or can be any part of our life. So the major things. So whatever we thoughts, which comes the story in our life, and sometimes there is many other things which are not comes in minds, so you can't make any stories because you have to think about that this all these things. So yes, by this I'm end my speech. Thank you very much, sir.
Very well done, Deepak. Very true. It reflects the positive and the negative sides of our thoughts, the stories that we share. So moving ahead, we'll have Pankaj. Pankaj, the topic for you is the cold water does not get warmer if you jump late. The cold water does not get warmer if you jump late. Toastmasters Pankaj. I'll should I repeat Pankaj?
Please, can you repeat the topic again?
Yes, I'm saying the cold water does not get warmer if you jump late. The cold water does not get warmer if you jump late. Toastmasters Pankaj.
Thank you, Table Topic Master, for giving me this topic. That is indeed a very true line. The cold water doesn't get warmer if we jump late. And the actual analogy of it, I can relate to with all those who want to be Toastmasters. We, as Toastmasters, at times have delayed our joining to the Toastmasters because we think we'll be joining when the time is right. Didn't we? Didn't we all had those thoughts? And once we join, we always wait for us to give our next speech. We'll write a speech when the time is right. We'll take a role when the time is right. And this is something which doesn't improve us as a better speaker. Rather, it delays our betterment. And that's what the title which I have got. The cold water doesn't get warmer if we jump late. So the sooner you get, the more better you can adapt with the water and you can swim well. So it's no point of waiting on the sidelines. Rather enjoy the journey. Take a dip now and be the better swimmer, be the better speaker, be the better person you want to be. Thank you, Toastmasters, for giving this topic back to you.
Great, greatly, aptly said, Pankaj. Very well pointed out. So I would request the guest to come up and speak. So, Priti, would you like to try? Is it audible? Devinder, are you able to join now?
Yes.
Okay.
I would request
yeah.
volume of my mobile is little less. Can you please write the topic in the chat box?
Yeah, I can write. Sure. The topic for you is criticize his action, not the person. I repeat, criticize his action, not the person.
Am I audible?
Yeah.
Okay. Often we feel that whatever an action has gone wrong, we blame the person wholeheartedly. But this doesn't happen. A person might 100 things right and only one action wrong, and we judge that person on the basis of that one action only. In my life, it has happened too. One of my cousins, who I was very familiar with, we used to play together. Once he stole my bat, and for next 10 years, I didn't talk to him. I forgot all the memories that we had created together, and only on the basis of one action, rejection came into play. But what happened? We lost precious 10 years. And what was at stake? A bat. I could have thought that he's my cousin, he could have taken my bat anyway, and it would not have made much difference to me. But the thought of that one incident became too big that we forgot all the memories. Friend, in your life also happen. Sometimes, rather than breaking up a problem into little subparts, we think that an act is big itself that we forget to take the action. What is easier? Just to break the problem into 100 parts and then solve each and every part, and we would be very near to the solution. The same thing happens in our relation as well, where a relation could be saved if a relation and its complication could be broken into smaller parts and solving them, fixing them, rather than just blaming the whole thing as a big problem and never taking an action. Back to you.
Very well said, Devinder. Great. So, Shruti, would you like to join? Last speaker, we can take it up before Ankur takes up the stage.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. The topic for you is, if you don't make choice, the choice will be made for you. I repeat, if you don't make choice, the choice will be made for you. Toastmasters, Shruti, the stage is yours.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster Saurabh. So, good morning, everyone. Again, my name is Toastmaster Shruti. So, topic was, if you don't make a choice. What was your topic? Could you please repeat?
If you don't make a choice, the choice will be made for you.
Okay. So yeah, topic is, if you don't make any choice, the choice will be made for you. And that is actually quite true in our life. We always think that we have a choice, and we take decision on the basis of our choice. But sometimes we feel like, I don't want to choose anything. We come in a situation where we feel like we want this, we want that, we want everything in our life, and we started feeling like that I don't want to make any choices. I want everything, whatever I want, right? But that is not how life works, right? If you don't make choice for yourself, if you don't decide what you want in your life, you will get whatever is left in your life. So it is very important for ourselves to decide what I want to achieve, what is my goals, what are my desires, what are my wants, and on the basis of that I should make plan and lead my life according to that. If I don't make any plans, if I don't decide what I want, if I don't choose what align with my goals, I will get the left out what the society will leave for me. I will get the very those things which society doesn't want. and you will left with no option at that point of time. So it is very important for us to realize our goals and then make choices according to them, because life time passes by, and you will get the leftover. That's it. Over to the table topic master. Thank you so much.
Very well said, Shruti. That choices are what define us, and timely making of choices is very critical and important for all forms of success in life. Now I transfer the stage to Mohit to invite Mohit Lodi to invite our speaker.
Thanks, Table Topic Master Saurabh. So now we are moving to a special session of the today's special session, and welcome our guest speaker Ankur Oberai. Ankur, Ankur helps organizations solve problem pertaining to communication and confidence among their employees. He is the author of the book Nine Obstacles to Creativity and How to Overcome Them. He is a Triple Crown awardee in Toastmaster. He is the divisional level first runner-up in International Speech Contest 2023. Divisional level first runner-up in Table Topic Contest 2023. Winner of area level table topic contest 2024. He believes you can't lead without a firm grasp on communication. With this, let's welcome Ankur Oberai.
Once upon a time. I can see that I have your attention. This is what happens. The moment our mind realizes that a story is about to begin, we have the attention. That is why we watch movies. That is why we read novels. That is why we want stories even in our advertisements. We are story scanning machines. Good morning, fellow Toastmasters and guests. I am Ankur Oberai, and today we are going to talk about crafting stories. I begin my talk with Once Upon a Time, so I'm not going to disappoint you. Let's begin with a story. It's a lazy Sunday afternoon in April 2000. I'm standing on the balcony, flying paper planes. The result of 7th standard came out the previous day, so I'm relieved. I'm tearing the papers out of my old notebooks, folding them into airplanes to fly them off into the lane of my neighborhood. It's my way of saying, finally, I'm done with exams. I hate studies and I have absolutely no respect for education. The science teacher, Mrs. Kapoor, who lives in my lane, is meticulously tending to her garden. I am avoiding eye contact with her in case she inquires about my marks. She is the strictest woman in our neighborhood. And she's famous for thrashing mischievous kids like me. But she suddenly goes back inside her house. I'm relieved that I can now be myself. I suddenly see a jet airplane flying, leaving a white colored trail of fumes behind. I want my paper planes to fly like that. I make another plane using all the knowledge of art and craft from my school. I paste a matchstick behind the plane, light the matchstick, and throw the plane. Nothing happens. The matchstick goes off midair. So I will try again. This time I paste 2 matchsticks behind the plane, light them up, throw the plane, nothing happens. Now I put 5 matchsticks behind the aeroplane. Light them up, throw them, and something happens. The whole plane catches fire. The ball of fire falls into Mrs. Kapoor's garden. It burns a flower. And I didn't know that she was back in her garden again. So she looks at me with rage and beckons me to come inside her house. I enter her house like a scaredy cat and I start explaining everything to her. She asked me to take a seat in her drawing room. But the moment I sit, she goes inside the kitchen. I know that she has gone in the kitchen to get a rolling pin to thrash me with it. I adjust my bottom in a way that it is half on the sofa and half in the air because I know that that's how I'm going to be sitting for the couple of days from now. I might as well practice. I brace myself for an incoming attack from Mrs. Kapoor. But she comes back with a can of soft drink, which she offers me. I accept it and I start gulping it down. But to my surprise, not only does she forgive me, she starts explaining me why putting matchstick behind paper plane does not work. As I take a sigh of relief, she starts explaining the science behind airplanes. She describes what aerodynamics is, using vivid examples of birds. She explains propulsion and Newton's third law to me so beautifully that I fall in love. Not with Mrs. Kapoor, but with science. I even start reading encyclopedias from the library, and later in my life, I choose to become an engineer. Thank you. Lovely folks, that was a story for you. And I want to ask you, what is a story? It's going to be an interactive session. So let me ask again. What, according to you, is a story? Raise your hands, please, if you have an answer and if you want to indulge in the discussion. Mohit sir, what is a story according to you?
According to me, a story is where there is a starting point, uh, and then there is a change which happens, transformation, something different happens at the end.
What about you, Mehak? What do you think a story is?
A story, I think, would be a reflection of our thoughts and something which is very interesting to read. Yes, something which is
Or
very
as
interesting and grapples the mind of the readers.
or as Davinder has written in the chat, something that takes you away from reality to an imaginary world. All these answers are right. But the best answer that I was looking for, I got from Mohit sir, that story means change. Story is a path of change. See, it takes us from reality to imagination. That's a change. Mehak says that stories are interesting. Why they're interesting? Because they involve change. Something has to change. Raise your hands if you've seen the movie DDLJ. What's the most iconic scene of the movie? Anyone else?
When Kajol is let go. When Kajol is let go.
Ja Simran Ja. Someone said, I heard. Who said
Yeah,
that?
Jasmine.
Everyone said it.
Everyone says that. Ja Simran Ja. You know why is it so iconic? Because that was a moment of transformation for Amrish Puri. From a strict father, super strict father, he became a lenient one and he allowed his daughter to marry for love or to elope for love. And he says, Ja Simran Ja. And suddenly, I still remember there was a thunderous applause in the cinema hall when that moment of change came. How many of you have seen the movie Three Idiots? Who changes the most in that movie?
Chatur.
Chatur changes. Who else? Chatur changes in the end.
No,
The
virus.
character. No,
Virus
character.
also changes.
Yes.
Raju.
Raju also changes. There's so many changes involved.
Farhan's dad also changes.
No,
Exactly.
a character which jumped off the roof.
So
That
so
character.
many so many people changed in that movie. But let me tell you, it is not just people who change and that can constitute to be a story. Even situations can change. There might be, dacoits in a village. The situation is horrible, and then towards the end of the movie, situation becomes better. Probably no one changed, but only the situation changed. So something has to change. The change can be as drastic as rags to riches, or it can be as minimal as a change in perspective. What's a change in perspective? I was a thankless person. I saw something on the road and my perception changed. Now I am a thankful person. A slight change, maybe a momentary change, but a change nevertheless. Now, in the story that I just shared, did you notice how I changed?
Yeah.
Please, can you share what did I mean, who changed or what changed in the story I shared?
Also, the change in the way of the teacher. So, like by the way he changed their things to explain to a student. So this is the first change that become the second change for the student.
So initially, when I said that I was flying paper planes from my balcony, I had no respect for education. I was tearing my old notebooks. So I had no respect for education. And towards the end, I fall in love with science, and then I chose to become an engineer. So that was the major change that happened in that story. From a person who disrespected education to someone who starts loving education. That was the change. And then, as you said, there are minor changes also. My perception towards that Mrs. Kapoor also changed. I thought that, she's the strictest lady in the neighborhood. She's famous for thrashing kids. And now here she is offering me a can of soda and explaining me, how do airplanes work. My perception also changed. And if we can do this, let us name the initial situation as situation 1 and the final situation as situation 2. If we can find these 2 points, situation 1 and final situation, half the battle is won. We often get confused between anecdotes and stories. In anecdotes, nothing changes. Nothing really changes. I went to a party. I met my friends. I had a great time. I came back. No change. That's an anecdote. But I met an old friend and I realized that, I should meet my friends more often. That's going to be a story. So the first step of crafting a story is to find that moment of change. That's going to be the ending of the story. Situation final. Situation 1, when you or the situation was right opposite to the final situation. That's going to be the first situation. Now, if we go back to the story that I just shared, did you notice how deeply I was explaining you the first situation? That I'm standing on the balcony. It's April 2000. The result of 7th standard was out. And since I'm tearing the old notebooks and flying planes, folding them into paper planes and flying them off, it was my way of saying, finally, the exams are over. I do not have any respect for education. I hate studying. So that's how you can explain the first situation so that the context is set. in the minds of listener what exactly this person is or what exactly the situation is. Now, here are few mistakes that we often do while explaining the situation one. We start giving unnecessary information. Like the curtains were blue, birds were chirping. We are writing for the ear, not writing for the eye. When we are writing a novel, we're writing for the eye. For that, we need more and more details. But when I said that I was standing in my balcony, Diptendu, what image came in your mind?
Blue skies, a big balcony, just ready to throw that airplane off into the open.
Great. And what picture came in your mind, Rohit? When I say I'm standing in the balcony, April 2000.
Yeah, it's a big balcony where you are standing, and yes, you're ready to throw the plane.
What else? What strikes your imagination when I say balcony? What comes in your mind?
A big room, and the balcony outside. The whole picture came in.
So the picture that's coming in your mind, have you ever seen that balcony in your life?
No.
No, but you imagined it. Some of you might have imagined their home's balcony. Some of you might have imagined your childhood home's balcony. So we do not need to give unnecessary details because the minds of listeners will fill in those gaps by themselves. So just saying April, we all know, is the onset of summers. The exams are just over. So by giving excessive of information in the situation one, we actually kill the imagination of our listeners. Second thing, as soon as possible, the goal should be established. So in my story, the goal was that I want my paper planes to fly like that jet plane that's flying in the sky. I was just in 7th standard. I had just cleared my 7th standard. I did not know science so much, so I thought that those fumes are just fire. I'll put matchstick behind and my plane will fly. So I had a goal in my mind. I want to fly planes, and I want my plane to fly like that that jet plane. So the goal was clear. Now coming back to the movie example, DDLJ. What was the goal that was established in the beginning? By anyone, by any character. Yes, Diptendu.
Living life with freedom for each
That's
individual character.
that is the overall scenario of the movie. But initially, when the movie just started, what came in your mind? What is the goal of the characters? What are they looking for? What do they want to achieve? So
Like
Kajol,
Kajol is just looking out for the love that she wants in her life. Like a very simple.
that came much later. Just
Okay.
initial point. Initial point was Kajol wanted to go on a vacation with friends. And after that, another goal came that Shah Rukh had a crush on Kajol, and he was looking to make her his girlfriend. So initial goal has to be present. Three Idiots, what was the goal? Remember that scene?
Initial goal was to get into the college of engineering, and also to actually understand what's the real goal of life, like which actually Amir Khan's character was always telling about.
You remember that scene when Virus was giving that speech?
Yeah,
He
correct.
brings a nest. Life is a
Yeah.
race. Life is a race. So a goal was handed over to you, that the goal of everyone is to achieve something from the college, to become successful. You see any movie or any story, in the first few seconds or first few minutes, A goal is established. I'm talking about commercial movies. I'm not talking about art movies like Masan. Or we have so many European movies. But in any commercial movies, the goal has to be established in the beginning. Can you share any example with me if it comes in your mind, a movie wherein you can point out that yes, a goal was established in the beginning? Any example do you have? I'm sure we have a lot of movie watchers here.
Yeah, the one which inspired me the most was the 12th Fail movie, where in the beginning, the way the movie goes, it establishes the goal of course, first to be successful in life without doing cheating, and then to become become a UPSC officer.
So in that movie, the initial goal was, I think, simply to clear exams. They wanted to
Yes,
clear exams.
in the beginning, he just wanted to clear exam, even with cheating. So the
Yes,
beginning goal was even to try and do cheating and to get some kind of clerical job. But then it evolved.
absolutely. So a clear goal was established in the beginning that no matter what, cheating or not cheating, exams should be cleared. And then how a change came. I had goosebumps when that moment came when he realizes that cheating nahi karni. But how did that change come? You remember there was a mentor in that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. So that leads me to the second point. It is always better if your story can have a mentor. That always helps. So in my story, Mrs. Kapoor, my teacher, she became a mentor. A mentor can be anyone or anything. We often think that mentor has to be a person. No, mentor can be as little as I saw a quote. I was traveling, I saw a quote written somewhere, and it strike something in me. That can be a mentor. Or you saw a movie, or you listened to a song, or your friend gave you an advice, or even you saw a dream. Because if you bring about a change just by yourself, that I was a thankless person, then suddenly I became a thankful person, that's going to be too arrogant. Because we love underdog stories, that I was not very aware of something, and then I got this idea from someone or something, a book, a movie, or a quote, and that brought a change in me, or that gave an idea to me, or a situation might have happened. Some external force should be there that brings about a change, because it's more realistic. None of us are playing solo in life, are we? Even the soloist sport, I don't know if it's a word, soloist, even the soloist sport, swimming, people think it's a solo sport. You jump, you just jump, and then you cross it, and then you are a winner. It involves coaches, it involves dietitians, it involves physicians. So much is involved. Diptendu is saying lawn tennis. Even in lawn tennis, I don't know who that person is called, who catches balls and he collects the balls. What is he called?
Ball boy, ball girl.
Ball boy. Yeah, ball boy, ball girl. Even that person is involved. So nothing is a solo sport. So why should our stories be solo? We need an external mentor. And Diptendu shared an example in the chat about the movie Swades. Diptendu, would you like to elaborate?
Yes, so when you say that story should have a goal immediately, in the movie Swadesh also there was a goal of Shah Rukh Khan's character going back home or coming back home. But the first coming back home was probably only a physical coming back to home. And then something changed in the heart, and the next time his heart and soul came back home. So it was basically a very elaborate journey of coming back home of Shah Rukh Khan's character.
Yes, and that brought a change.
Yes, yes.
Right. And who was the mentor in the movie Swadesh? Or what situation or what acted like a mentor?
According to me, the village and the village conditions were the mentor, not the person, but the environment itself. Because
Absolutely.
the mentor, what does a mentor do? Mentor helps change perspective or open new windows of thoughts. So just seeing the village and the problems and the people there, that opened new perspective and new thoughts in Shah Rukh Khan character's heart and mind. So maybe so
Absolutely.
the situation itself was the mentor for this particular person.
Absolutely. Absolutely, Diptendu. So now we are clear that situation one should have a clear goal, and we should explain it as much as possible. Try to show, not tell. As storytellers, we say story and tell. So we tell a lot. So instead of telling, show. Become story showers. How do we tell? What if I would have just said, I had no respect for education. I hated studying. That's it, done. Instead, I showed you that I was tearing papers from my old notebooks and making planes out of them. What if in DDLJ, there was a narrator saying, uh, her father was a strict guy. He did not let her go anywhere. Everyone was scared of him. It wouldn't have that effect. But instead, the director showed you with instances. So if in your story, suppose you are to say that I was a thankless person. Okay. So instead of saying I was a thankless person, share an incident that proves you were a thankless person. Show, don't tell. So situation one, you show what the situation is or what the person is. You establish a goal. You move forward with a mentor, and then towards the end, don't delve too much into it. Coming back to the story example, I say that I fell in love with science. I start buying encyclopedias and reading them, and I chose to become an engineer. That's it. What if I had, delved deeply into it? That, now, I scored very good marks in science. Then I chose PCM in my 10th, in my 11th. Then I was preparing for my engineering, and then I did engineering. It would be, too much of a drag. So when that moment comes, try to end that story as soon as possible. When Ja Simran Ja happened, the movie ended in a couple of minutes. If they would have shown that now they are getting married, and now they are fighting like any other married couple, then the story would have dragged unnecessarily. We often drag a lot, so let us avoid this mistake of dragging. Now there are certain, I would say, masalas that are required in a story. The most important masala is surprise. There should be an element of surprise. When I was entering into the house of my teacher, and I was filling you with expectations that I am going to get thrashing. She is the strictest lady in our neighborhood. You had an expectation, okay, Ankur will get thrashed. Pitai hogi Ankur ki. But that did not happen. She came back with a soft drink and she offered me. That was a little surprise. What if I would have broken that surprise by saying, as I am entering her house, little did I know that my life is going to change. It would have killed the surprise. And we do this more often than not. In the beginning of the story, we would say, so this is a story about how I got interested in science. What if in DDLJ there was a narrator? So this is a movie about how a strict father changes into a lenient one. Have you seen Finding Nemo? No one has seen Finding Nemo. What if in 12th fail movie? 12th, was it 12th fail or 12th pass? I'm forgetting the name also.
Yeah, 12th.
12th fail. What if in that movie they would have told, so this is a story about how a boy becomes from a cheater, becomes an honest person and achieves a lot in life. Surprise ruined. We do this a lot, and it is all thanks to our education system, who teaches us all this. We have that, a composition given to us, and we are asked to give a title to it, and we are encouraged to break the surprise in the title. But that does not happen in real life. When you know those people who come to you and say, hey, I've got something funny to tell you, 99% of the time it's not even funny. Maybe it's funny, but they break the surprise for you. So in the stories also, let us not kill surprises. Let us keep surprises. And when you're writing a story, make sure to have this angle of surprise. Otherwise, that feeling of goosebumps will not happen without a surprise. Now, there are certain surprises that have become too cliche. Let us all avoid them. One of the most common surprises that I've seen a lot is people telling a story in third person and then saying that it's me. This has been overused a lot, that now what happens is, whenever I'm listening to a third person story, I already know that this is the story of that the speaker. So try to keep as much surprise element as possible in your stories. Now, writing for eye and writing for ears are two very different things. We often write with long sentences, but when we are telling something, do we speak with long sentences? We speak with short or medium sentences. You might be too intelligent to listen to hour long of a podcast where so many long sentences are used. You might have a great attention span, but these days the listeners do not have that attention span to decipher long sentences. While reading, it is still okay. It is great to use long sentences. But when you're writing for the audience, for the ear, to tell a story, it is the short and medium sentences or the combination of them that will help. Now, instead of saying, when I entered the house of Mrs. Kapoor, I was getting a feeling that I'm going to get thrashed because she's the strictest teacher in our neighborhood. I didn't say that. I said, I'm entering her house. I'm scared. Now I might get a thrashing. So even if there's a long sentence, you should break it with pauses so that your listeners can understand that. So now, what is our formula of stories? Situation one, situation final, which is opposite to that. We keep an element of surprise, we keep a mentor, we establish a goal in the beginning, and that's it. Your story is done. I open the house for questions now. Any questions, please raise your hands and then you may ask. Yes, Deepti ma'am.
Hi, Ankur. Thank you for this insightful session. I think lots of takeaways and learning. My question is, you were talking about setting the context, right? So, how do we know how much is just about enough, and we are not going overboard in setting the context?
Experiment. Here I would recommend you to experiment a lot. You can attend a lot of open mics in Delhi, and then when you look at the audience, when you're giving certain details, you will notice that when their eyes will start looking here and there, when their eyes will drop into their mobile phones.
Basically, we're losing the audience. That's
Losing
what
the
you mean.
audience, exactly. The point
Achha,
at that point where audience is lost, we should just stop giving details. And this will come a lot by practice. As we write more and more stories, we'll realize that what so when a house is made, first that structure and frame is made.
Right.
So for storytelling, for oral storytelling, if we just give that frame, like
Right.
April a month of April I gave, suddenly you had in your mind that, you
Yeah.
know, summer onset is there. I said, you know,
Yes.
balcony,
Hmm.
it's daytime. Now I gave the structure, your mind, you know, it just filled in the gaps.
Correct.
So giving that structure is enough. People will fill in the gaps.
Hmm. Understood.
Yes,
Thank you.
Davinder. Davinder, you may ask now.
Ankur, after listening to you for last 30 minutes, I don't have any question. Is it normal not to have any question?
It's the best compliment I can get, that you are not having question, because generally my story, this session of, you know, crafting stories is actually at least 2.5 hour long. It was a challenge for me to compress into 30 minutes, and since you are saying no questions at all, then I was going overboard at 2 hours.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Davinder. Yes, Toastmaster Lavina, your question.
So I am a part-time climate educator. I educate my colleagues about topics related to climate change. And many a time there is a situation wherein I am kind of like suggesting alternative, as in eco-friendly alternatives, and better ways, sustainable ways of doing uh, regular things, regular life, daily life things. So how to not sound preachy when I am kind of like making it a story kind of a thing about my life, or about some ideal person I am talking about, maybe say random celebrity who is maybe sustainable. Or so there are situations when I might sound very preachy and people might not relate to that thing. So I have not, for example, I have not made any shopping. I have not done any shopping in the last like almost 4 years. So this is like an unimaginable situation for like 99.9% people, especially around Delhi NCR, right? So how can I make sure that I'm not preachy in such a conversation?
So your answer lies in your question, that stories can help. As we say that death of a million is a statistic and death of one person is tragedy. So if you observe these days that, you know, if there's a educational documentary on maybe on climate change, or maybe on economic collapse or inequality, you know, BBC would make a documentary, or Discovery or National Geographic would make a documentary. They would take one case study and then talk about that person. So you can incorporate storytelling in your speeches pertaining to climate change. You can talk about, you know, one person, this person who was affected the most, and from there you can build. So let your stories be the initial point, and then you can build statistics on that, because stories will immediately grab attention. Otherwise, absolutely, as you said, you know, one might sound preachy. I hope I answered your question, Lavina. Yeah. Toastmaster Ankan, what your question, please?
Yeah, good morning, Toastmaster Ankur. So I may go a bit off topic, but like I wanted to know, if I have to write a fiction story, say a science fiction, then what suggestion would you give? Should I start with a blueprint, rough blueprint, and then make a character or something like that?
I am not experienced in fictional storytelling, Ankan, so I won't be able to answer this question.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you. Yes, your question, Toastmaster Ashish.
Yeah, thanks. I think this was one of the best session I've had on story crafting. Excellent job. Thank you so much. I had one curiosity, and I wanted to ask you. That's with regard to the two pieces which you mentioned. There is some, I found it a bit contradictory, and I just wanted to seek some clarity. That one is to create the curiosity. You know what I've learned is that, and you mentioned that part also. So paint that picture, give a little bit of narrative. And the second is like the examples you gave, that what if somebody was to say that this is the story of a strict father who turns into a lenient one. So of course, by that, do you mean that of course a little bit of storytelling or a little bit of context setting is required, but that context setting should not cover the entire story? Could you elaborate on that, like how to put the two things together, that one is supposed to create a curiosity in the beginning, but at the same time not reveal the crux of it?
Okay. What is that movie wherein they showed about the Kargil war? That recently a movie came, very famous movie.
Laksha?
Fighter.
Shershaw, that
No, it
I
was
do.
it was
Basi.
about. I don't remember the movie, so we knew the ending.
Uri. Is it Uri?
I don't remember the name exactly. I am confused between two movies. So
Hello,
whatever it
sir.
is, we before going to the movie, we knew how it will end.
Yeah, this
Because
guy dies at the end. I think that's what you're talking about. Yeah, I remember what the example which you're giving. Yes.
yes. So by the so even in the beginning of the movie, we knew that what is the context, how it is going to end, because we had watched a lot of news during that time, and
Correct.
still we still we watched it.
Yeah.
Because there were little surprises throughout the movie. How
Clear.
it will happen,
Okay.
how he will save himself, how he will save his team, his squadron.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So these are little surprises that we need to sprinkle throughout. If we do not set the context initially, see,
Understood.
my target was to fly the paper plane, and the fume should come from behind, like that jet was flying.
Correct.
But towards the end, the listeners realized that it was not the story of paper planes.
Understood.
It was story of a boy falling in love with science. But
Understood.
some goal, some proxy goal, we can call it proxy goal.
Understood. Clear. Yeah, no, I thought of clarifying this, because what I have learned also is that creating curiosity in the beginning is very important. Like you said, setting the context in the beginning is very important. But at the same time, it should not be like which summarizes the whole thing in the beginning itself.
Absolutely. Yes, Toastmaster Deepti, you have more questions. I see your hand raised. Okay.
No, Ankur. Thank you.
Toastmaster, Table Topics Master. I can't read more of your name.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Hi, Ankur. Yeah. Just wanted to understand, Ankur, like there are a lot of stories being built.
You are on mute. Saurabh, you are on mute. Okay, this is I'm taking the last question now. Saurabh, can you state your question again? You went on mute.
Yeah, sorry, the call came. Yeah. I was saying there are stories that are built to promote genuineness from various individuals, from various, you can say, brands also. So, how genuineness and storytelling are related, and how we can establish that? Like, because if we want to show genuineness, we have to show the rough side also of the story, like the downside also. But people don't like to listen that, I think. So stories are more created on the positive sides. So it is important to
Everyone.
shed light on both the sides.
So you're right. Everyone loves happy ending, but then it depends on the audience also. I would say stories of failure are more enticing than stories of success. Try it someday, on maybe on a TCST stage, on Toastmasters, or maybe in an open mic somewhere. Try this thing. Share a story of your success and then share a story of your failure, and look at the reaction of audience. So it's a misconception that stories of failure are not a hit. Maybe on commercial cinema they are not, but in oral storytelling they really strike chord with lot of people. They start relating. And of course, when you share your struggle, when you share a story of failure, people start deriving morals out of it. I discourage sharing morals with people. That's my personal choice. But then from the failure movies or failure stories, people start deriving their morals. So that strikes a chord better than the stories of success.
Okay.
Yeah. Diptendu, you have a question?
Not a question, just an observation to probably further cement my learning from the session. So my learning is that every single statement in the story, so when we talk of story, let us say we are talking of prepared speeches, every single statement in the story has to be purposeful. So, not even one sentence should be without a purpose just for the heck of it or just to fill words. So, that's my takeaway. When we say purposeful gestures, purposeful voice modulation, so every statement also has to be purposeful. For example, when you said, I went into a balcony, it was April, these are not details, but the details are leading to the details have a purpose behind them. So it's
Yes.
important to think about the details we choose to share, and probably that will come with practice. What details to share, what not to share, something you have already touched upon. So
Thank you
yeah,
so much, Diptendu. This was a great point. So I do this in my storytelling writing also. So what I do is, if I have a doubt on a sentence, if that sentence is required or not, I remove the sentence entirely, and then I read my story. If it does not make any difference, I keep it removed. That's like, the quote, the famous quote by Bruce Lee, that the statue is there in that in the rock. You have to just remove the unnecessary parts. So when I write my story, I just write it. I keep on writing it, and then I start removing things. So thanks a lot. Thanks a million, Leaders Connect Toastmasters and Toastmaster Club of Storyteller for having me. I enjoyed a lot. It was a Sunday morning well spent. Remember, we are story scanning machines, and we are fortunate enough to be associated with this Storytellers Club. Thanks a lot, everyone, for being a wonderful audience.
thank you so much, Ankur.
Thanks, Ankur. It's a great journey with you. It's a great story we have heard today. So now on, we are rolling on, and we came to our next session. That is the last session, which is prepared speech. And for today, our speaker is Nidhi, and her evaluator is Mehak. So let's welcome Nidhi.
Mohit, you might want to first invite Mehak who is the evaluator.
Okay.
Just use herself and she'll share the objectives. Then you can invite Nidhi for the speech.
Thanks for letting me know. So, hey, uh, just I want to introduce Mehak. Mehak is Mehak is the evaluator to Nidhi, and Mehak is a student of DU where she is pursuing her BCom honors. She can be a little bit high maintenance, a little lazy, and occasional even a little insane. Drawing, painting, reading, listening to music, and other relaxing activities provided her peace. So I'm introducing Mehak. Hi, Mehak.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Mohit. Good morning, everyone. I am the evaluator for Toastmaster Nidhi. Our speaker one, she is for following and giving a speech from level 1, project 3, that is researching and presenting. The purpose for the project is for the member to learn and review a basic research method and present a well organized and a well researched speech on any of the topics. I wish the speaker all the best. Presenting the stage back to our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Mohit. Thank you.
So, Mohit, you could now
Yeah.
invite
Yeah.
Nidhi, and I will need to have the title for right.
I don't have. I don't find that in the script.
Sure, no worries, no worries. The title for Nidhi's speech is Fitness and Its Pursuit. Nidhi Sharma, fitness and its pursuit. Nidhi Sharma, over to you, Nidhi.
Hello, everybody. So today my speech title is Fitness and Its Pursuit. I'll try that you all enjoy my speech. So let's start it with speaking fitness. Try speaking fitness. When you speak fitness, it stretches your face muscles and it looks as if you are smiling. So it starts with smile and it fills your life with smile. Fitness is of paramount importance and play integral role in everyone's life. You know why? Reason being because a healthy mind resides in a healthy body. And if you have both, then life is euphoric. You enjoy every moment of life. Fitness is not limited to any age group. It is mandate for all, be it a child, kid, adolescence, adult, young, mid-age, old age, for everybody it is mandate. So many of us, we associate fitness with physical fitness only. I tell you one thing, you will be surprised to know that fitness is not all about physical fitness. It comprises of physical as well as mental fitness. And you'll be more surprised to know that they are independent factor as well as they are interwoven. So here I'm going to explain with some live examples that how they are independent and how they are interwoven. So let's start with physical fitness as an independent factor. A couple of days back, I saw a man. He was jogging. He used to run also many times. When I was going to swimming, he was swimming there. When I was going to gym, he was gymming. He was regular at every single thing. And I was also surprised that this guy is so regular and he is religiously following his routine. And I was sharing it with my husband that this guy is so regular. He looks so physically fit. But irony is that after a couple of days' time, I learned that guy who used to look so fit, he had a couple of problems. He had dementia, he had low cognitive ability, and a couple of other things which comes under the same umbrella. He was not mentally fit. And his parents was advised by the doctor that please make your child's son to do more exercise so at least he can stay physically fit. So here you can understand that how physical fitness has nothing to do with mental fitness. It is an independent factor. So now next come to mental fitness. I made a friend. So I was swimming and she was also there with her husband. And in the course of conversation, she shared with me that her husband is a couch potato. And you will be amazed to know that he is a doctor. He was extremely unhealthy. He is a doctor with a reputed hospital. But he had depression, he had anxiety problem, and because of this sedentary lifestyle, he developed a couple of other diseases also. For this, he kept taking pills. And her wife, and my friend, she was highly pissed off with this. But a doctor who is mentally so fit, he was unhealthy. He had such a huge belly, protruding stomach that was peeping out between the space of his shirt and lower. I was also surprised to see that what he is doing with his health. Why he is not doing exercise? But this is the example of he's mentally fit, but he is physically not fit. Now, how they are interwoven. So how many of you do exercise daily? I assume everybody does it nowadays. Everybody does it. I also do it. People who do it, good to see that everybody does it. People who do it, they can understand the relevance of importance and how it rejuvenates you and give you push for next 24 hours. I do exercise in various form and everybody can do exercise in various form. I do swimming, I do gymming, when I do meditation, yoga, when I'm doing household chores, whenever you are even attending Toastmaster, you can do breathing exercise. Every time physical exercise is not important. You can do breathing exercise. Just take a deep breath, keep holding it for some time and release it. While you are attending Toastmaster, you are doing breathing exercise. When you go to bed, you are trying to sleep. The moment you go to bed, you don't feel like sleeping, but you think that, okay, gradually you get into sleep. So at that time, you can meditate. So there are different forms of exercise. Exercise, it provides you ability and strength, endurance to cope with disease, depression, anxiety. And it's actually instrumental in carrying out your all daily activities, and you definitely get success. So now you do exercise, you manage to cope all the problem, and when you manage to cope all this problem, you are happy and you know that where this force coming, then you tend to do exercise. So this is a cycle that keeps going on. This is never ending cycle. This is a continuous process. If we think that we have reached a certain level in fitness, both in mental and physical, now we should stop doing exercise because we have done. No, it is not like that. It is a constant pursuit. You will have to keep continuing it. Once it happened with me, I got married. I was juggling a couple of things: office, married life, household chores, my family, in-laws family. And I forgot that a practice exercise, which I had been following since childhood, I stopped doing that. And what was the result? I was always ready to lock my horn with the boss. I was in depression. I had anxiety all the time. I had so much work to do. And I am a chronic sinus person. I have sinus. People who are from here, usually people have sinus, but I had chronic sinus. I was wondering how come everything is happening with me, and that too just after marriage it started happening. I consulted doctor for my sinus problem. He said that you need to go for the operation. Then I was like, no, I don't want at this age my natural senses to be touched by doctors. So I said that I have to look for other way around. Then I introspected, and to my amaze, I realized that I have stopped doing exercise for a quite long time. It's been 5 to 6 months time I'm not doing exercise. Then I started doing it. And whenever I was getting time, the way I was doing before marriage, I started doing exercise. And you might not believe, within a week time, my physical and mental health was reinstated. And it's been 15, 16 years now. There is no sinus, which doctor suggested that you have chronic sinus and you need to go for operation. For past 15, 16 years, there is no sinus. I'm living a healthy life by God's grace. So it is a journey. It certainly has a destination. But if you stop this journey, if you stop your pursuit, your journey will slip from your hands. You will back to the unhealthy state of your health and your mind, of your body and your mind. Again, you will be in the gloominess. So in order to stay fit, you want to keep holding the destination. Please keep your journey on, keep your pursuit on, stay healthy, stay fit, and enjoy your life. Thank you so much. Here I end speech.
Thank you, Nidhi. Thank you, Toastmaster Nidhi. It's a great hearing related to your physical fitness and all. So now we are moving to our feedback. That is there any feedback from the fellow Toastmaster and guest? We invite you to share your valuable feedback on today's meeting. Your thoughts and insight are greatly appreciated as they help us improving and enhance our sessions. Please.
Probably I can share one. So the 30-minute session, which is from this special guest, which usually I have seen in none of the other Toastmasters club, is something which is quite insightful as well as entertaining one. And these are the seasoned professional speakers. in the previous meeting as well, we found someone like that, and even in today's meeting. So this is something which you won't find a very common thing in all the Toastmasters, and that is something which makes this club stand out.
Thanks, Toastmaster Pankaj, for valuable feedback. So, as we continue with our theme for the day, this twisted mind of mine can't help but draw an analogy between life as a movie and summer vacation. The moment life starts to make little sense to us, and from walking, we start running, we find ourselves in a real life movie titled Nursery The Beginning. This seems like a horror movie. At the start, as we find ourselves amongst fellow terrified folks and few villains they call as teachers. Here, our parents, whom we trusted the most, they have also turned rogue as they leave us at the doorstep of school with some highly dubious folks. Somehow, the year goes by, hero survives each day, and at the end, there is a big climax where villain came up with a weapon called exam paper. And finally, after a long battle, hero triumphed, but not a fellow soldier, made it to the shore. However, on the outset, it seems a happy ending, and the reward was summer vacation. That is the reason it feels so good, because it came after a lot of effort. But then there is, if not KGF, no, LKG Part 2, Revenge of the Teacher, then Part 3, and the circus keeps on going with no end. But glad that someone came up with the concept of summer vacation, else life would have been miserable. Now, as we move to our last session of the day, which is evaluation round, please help me in welcoming Toastmaster General Evaluator Ankan to lead evaluation section.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mohit. So we are back to our evaluation section, which is also the most important section. And why evaluation important? Because I was listening to Kevin Peterson in an interview. He was saying that after DRS came into practice, he would be getting lots of decision overturned and getting out on LBW. So he asked Rahul Dravid to guide him through spin bowling, and Rahul Dravid gave him a detailed guidance of how step by step, position by position, of how to play spin ball. And after that, according to Kevin Peterson himself, he never got out on a DRS for an LBW. So that's what an evaluation can do. It's so I'll be sorry. So beginning an evaluation section, our first evaluator will be Toastmaster Mehak to evaluate speech of Toastmaster Nidhi Sharma. So Mehak, would you like to take on the stage?
Thank you so much, General Evaluator. Good afternoon, everyone. Our speaker today gave a speech on the topic fitness and its pursuits. A very well crafted speech. What I loved about the speech in the beginning itself was like how she started with a question and asked the audience to do an interesting activity that was speaking the word fitness, and how she demonstrated that the word itself has a certain kind of physical muscles that are being used in our body itself. It was a very well demonstrated fact, and something that initially grabbed the attention of the audience since you started with an activity. So kudos to you for that. In between the story that she crafted, she also had little tidbits and the facts that she shared regarding the fitness, whether it was the physical fitness or the mental fitness. Asking the questions in between as well. How many of you exercise daily, or the ways you exercise daily, was something that I love. Having questions here and there in your speech also gives a chance for the audience to be engaged in your speech throughout. So kudos to you for that. Second, the examples that she gave, whether it was for the friends or for the family or for her own example that she started on with, and speaking that how initially the people were not regularly exercising, what are the problems they suffered with, and how they have overcome the problems in their lives regarding the fitness itself. was something that actually grabbed the attention of the audience because they were able to relate this with their own thing as well. So that was very well done and very well conducted. The third thing, when she ended up with her own story, that was a very well kind of revelation. Like how she started on with a physical activity and how she was going with the physical activities in her own life. This was basically the conclusion point in your story, which was very well done. Concluding your story that was your own is a twist that could be for the audience or a surprise element that was added in your speech. That was very well done. Things that I would like you to improve upon your speech. Some things, first one would be the structure of the speech. There was no structure that was being followed in the speech. There were certain examples from certain different people. Towards the end, you engage with or of your own speech or your own story that you gave to conclude with. In between, there were certain questions that were being put, which could have been regulated and could have been maintained at certain points that were required and necessary. So a structure would would be demonstrated. It would give that how and when the speech could have been ended and how it should have ended. A conclusion could have been better. So if you follow a structure, it should give a beginning to your speech. That was very well done when you started with an activity, a little body, and then giving a clear-cut introduction to your speech. That was an ending. Second thing is the body movement and the body language. That could have been maintained a little more well. This is it from my side. So the three things, first is the question that you started upon with, the examples that you gave, and your own story and the conclusion. Something to work upon that you can improve is maintain a structure in the speech and the body language, and you're good to go. Thank you. With this, I want to present the stage back to Toastmaster Ankur.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mehak. So now we'll move on for our tag team players for their reports. I'd like to call on Sagar, our timer today, to present his report on stage.
Thanks, Toastmaster Ankur. So all the speakers spoke really well and were well on time limits. So in the table topic section, we had 5 speakers. First, Toastmaster Parul. She spoke for 1 minute 43 seconds. Then we have Toastmaster Deepak. He spoke for 1 minute 12 seconds. Then we have Toastmaster Pankaj. He spoke for 1 minute 16 seconds. Then we had Toastmaster Devinder. He spoke for 1 minute 46 seconds. Then Toastmaster Shruti. She spoke for 1 minute 38 seconds. Then we had that special speech session by Toastmaster Ankur. He spoke for 31 minutes 5 seconds. Then we had the prepared speech session where Toastmaster Nidhi delivered the speech, and she spoke for 8 minutes 26 seconds. A little off the limits, but it's fine. Then we have the speech evaluation section where Toastmaster Mehak spoke for 3 minutes 43 seconds. So over to you, Toastmaster Ankur. That's all from the timer's report. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sagar. Our next team player is Toastmaster Ashish, presenting his counter report. So, Toastmaster Ashish.
Thank you, Journal Evaluator, Toastmaster Ankan. And a very nice story shared by you of Kevin Peterson. I hope all of us can be Kevin Peterson today. Or can be drive it to. That's even a better one. All right. So first sharing my report, the largest time on the stage was TMOD Mohit. Mohit, you did very well. Overall, very nice session organized. The fillers which you used predominantly more than 5 times were so, and. So you could be more careful of reducing these 3. But overall, well done. GE in his report, I noticed only couple of time Ankan. Overall, well done. Saurabh Mitra TTM was very fluent. I just noticed couple of redundant shows, but overall very fluent. Saurabh, you were very calm and composed on the stage. Very well done. Our prepared speaker Nidhi spoke for 8.5 minutes. There were only about 4 shows, couple of you-knows and couple of buts. Overall, good, Nidhi. You are at level 1, already signs of a skilled speaker in terms of filler words. Toastmaster Mehak as evaluator was flawless, and also the introduction was flawless. Ankur was mesmerizing. I could not notice any. It could be just his content was so strong that I missed. That's what happens when you have such a great topic and such a great way of sharing the topics. Overall, very well done. Toastmaster Devinder in the beginning was okay. Toastmaster Dipendu was also flawless. He did not use any filler word. Now coming to table topics, Toastmaster Parul was very good. She used only and once, which could have been avoided. Toastmaster Deepak used so and ah more than 5 times. So try and reduce usage of these. Toastmaster Deepak. Toastmaster Pankaj was very good and he used once. So he used once, but very good overall. Toastmaster Davinder was flawless here. Toastmaster Shruti used 5 times and couple of times. Shruti, try to reduce these specific filler words next time you're on the stage. This is my report. Back to you, G.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ashish. So moving on to our next team player, which is Toastmaster Lavina, presenting her grammarian report of the day. Toastmaster Lavina.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ankur. So, I really want to call out specifically that you had used the word of the day within split seconds of me sharing it to the forum. So, kudos to you for that. Moving on with the not so good usages of English grammar, there were a few that can be pointed out here. When we were saying that I have one curiosity, we can rephrase and say, I am curious. And then we go ahead with the question that we want to ask. Then again, when we were saying that fitness is a mandate, we can rephrase and say, fitness is mandatory for all ages. Then again, when we were saying, I do exercise, we do exercise, are you doing exercise? So we can rephrase and say like, do you exercise, or I exercise, are we exercising? Things like that. So that we don't make do and exercise stick together in the sentence, we have to keep it really apart. Apart from that, a huge fallout to Toastmaster Ankur for the 30-minute session, great session, and brilliant usages of good English there when you were saying, oh, maybe I'm not supposed to be covering that in my report, but I want to call out the specific mention of story scanning machine. I think that phrase and that concept is never going to die in the minds of all the participants of this call. I think that's a brilliant use of words over there. Then coming on to the other speakers, I think a lot of good usages when we were saying independent, when that the mental fitness and the physical fitness are independent and interwoven. Then the whole idea of couch potato being mentioned in the speech about fitness. And then when we were saying I am ready to lock horns with my boss. So that's a way of expressing anger and instability there. And when we were saying somebody was saying it is a great hearing, we can kind of rephrase it and say it was a great listen instead of hearing. We can say rephrase and say in that form. That's about my grammarians report. Thank you, and over to you, Toastmaster Ankur.
Thank you, Toastmaster Lavina. So now I'll be presenting my report of general evaluation of the meeting. So we started at 10:35 a.m. and spent few minutes in sorting out roles. And this happens quite frequently in online meeting because some member has to back out for some reason, for their own personal reason. So I would like to suggest that we keep a backup role player in case that primary role player back out, and then we are having a sorted out member who could immediately take up the vacant role. And with this, session was started by Toastmaster Deeptendu by calling out guests to introduce themselves, which was a good strategy. Guests should feel this place like their home in the beginning itself. And moving on, for our table topic session, Saurav Luthra, Toastmaster Saurav provided some unique topics and well thought out topics. And he gave nudge to guests to come on stage and pick up the topic, which was a good part from his side. Somewhere I felt that his voice was a bit low, and which was causing some audible problem to the speakers, to the listeners. And I would like to suggest him to type the topic on the chat box if topic is bit lengthy or is carrying some difficult words in it. That would be one suggestion from my end. Second was the special session by Toastmaster Ankur, which was very interactive, informative, and well paced. It was like an icing on the cake. And for evaluation, Toastmaster Mehak provided precise and on point evaluation to Toastmaster Nidhi with some constructive suggestion on it. Regarding our tag team players, Toastmaster Sagar was diligently noting time and was on point with every detail of every session, sub-session which has happened. Toastmaster Ashish was also very thorough and very diligently involved in listening to every speaker and providing every ahs and ums, which I believe is the most difficult part of Toastmaster role players, to be the ah counter, because they have to be very diligent and precise and listen to every speaker very minutely. And for Toastmaster Lavina's grammarian report was also quite thorough and detailed and was well listened, well understood report. So thank you to my tag team players for providing such a diligent report. And Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Mohit, provided a childhood topic, summer vacation. I think I had completely forgotten about summer vacation until the time you reminded me of it. Yes, then it suddenly struck me that yeah, I used to also have a summer vacation in my childhood. So that was a refreshing topic from your end. You took us through the session quite smoothly. There was smooth transition between session, and there was a lot on your plate to shuffle through, because of which I think somewhere that your own content got cut because of a slightly lengthier session which we are having today. But you have made it. You have covered it at the end, even though in between you didn't get much space to talk about, which was a nice part from you. Only suggestion is that you could make your session quite interactive by asking audience of how they used to spend their summer vacation or what good memories they have of their own. So that would be one suggestion from my end. And with this, I come to an end with our general evaluation section. Stage is back to you, Toastmaster Mohit, our Toastmaster of the day. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Toastmaster Ankur, Toastmaster General Ankur. So, we all know what summer vacation meant to us, how it felt, and that feeling was just unbearable. However, the sad part of summer vacation is that it just ends way too early, same as our Toastmaster meeting. However, with the promise of another adventurous year of things we can plan for next vacation. And for us, working professional is the silver lining is if we don't have the luxury of summer vacation, at least we can look forward for next meeting and what role we want to play. All enjoyable experience eventually concluded, whether it's the summer vacation or Toastmaster meeting. With this, let us welcome our presiding officer, Diptendu, to give us closing remarking on today's meeting.
A huge round of applause for Toastmaster Mohit. Mohit, Diptendu has had to step away due to some personal exigencies, so I'll cover as the presiding officer. What a fantastic meeting. Let's have a huge round of applause. It was like a celebration today. So many takeaways, so many things to learn. And I have to tell you one thing. Today, Toastmaster Mohit is debuting in his role as Toastmaster of the day. So let's have a huge round of applause for Toastmaster Mohit. It did not feel like that, right? And one more thing, we had another debut role player today, Toastmaster Saurabh.
the table topics master. He's debuting in his role and he did so well. A huge round of applause for him too. Fantastic. Now, like Toastmaster Mohit said, all good things have to come to an end. We are doing a lot of behind the scene things to make some of these special sessions possible. Some of you have appreciated that. We are so happy that all of these things are adding value to you. We will continue. We are listening closely to your feedback, and we will continue to work in our EC teams, within our officers team to make the sessions more and more fruitful for all of us. We will soon announce the next meeting details and the next expert who will come in as well. I have to mention that next week we have oration. Some of us in the group are attending that. For those of you who are new to Toastmasters, oration is an annual event of Toastmasters District 41, of which most of us are a part. And this is a 3 days event where the international speech contest and the table topics contest happens, and the winners go up to the regional level, and ultimately there is a overall international world champion of public speaking who is declared. So if you don't know about this, you can feel free to reach me or Google about it, and you are still welcome to attend oration. It's a 2 days stay, 3 days stay, and if you want to come and join as a guest, you can also go for the guest day passes to witness the event. It is not just the contest, but there is a lot of international keynote speakers, a lot of networking, a lot of learning in the process that happens over there. It is happening at Lee Meridian in Gurugram this time around from 17th till 19th. Okay, thanks a lot. One more thing which is coming up is the announcement of the mentors. So currently you're reaching out and all of us are working as a cohesive group, helping each other out to enable us to do the roles. But soon we will be having a formal mentor-mentee alignment, which will further help us in seeking feedback for our speeches, for the roles that we play. So please keep a watch out for that. And now, before we conclude, we have to do the voting for the best role player and the best speaker. Best speaker, best evaluator, no doubt, is Toastmaster Nidhi. Let's have a round of applause for her. And Toastmaster Mehak, her evaluator. You guys both did very well. Now, I would like to invite Toastmaster Deepthi, if you're still there, to share the voting links for all of us to vote for the other role players.
Yes, Mohit, I just posted the voting link on the chat, requesting everybody to please vote. I'm waiting for a couple of more votes before I can share the results with you.
Okay, sure. So there is this voting link on the chat box. Please open it and spend a few seconds to cast your precious vote.
Should I repost it if it's gone up in the chat?
Yes, please, if you could. Thanks. Yeah, everybody is welcome to vote, including guests.
Okay, so I will stop the the voting at the count of 1 and back count from 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Thank you, everybody. Mohit, I'll just share the results with you through WhatsApp.
Actually, Toastmaster Deepthi, why don't you just announce it? Perfectly fine.
Okay, sure, I can do that. All right. Uh-oh. I'm using my phone for the voting links, and Mohit, it seems I've lost the page.
No worries. Can I help you in any which way? Do we need to? Have we lost the votes as well? Do you mean?
Yeah. I
Oh,
got
okay,
all of
okay.
13 votes. I'm so sorry.
Okay. Oh, it happens. That's perfectly fine. That's perfect. Let's have a round of applause for everyone. A Toastmaster of the day, the grammarian of the day announced celebrate as the word of the day. Let's celebrate everyone who was present in the meeting. Let's celebrate every role player because all of us did such a fantastic job today, isn't it? Let's have a round of applause. And if you can, please switch on your camera. Let's click a picture and then we'll close the meeting. You're just in time. Everybody, I request you to open your camera just for a minute. If you can. Deepti, Lavina, thanks Nidhi, Ashish, if you can. And I will just do a picture.
Throat is in a bad shape.
Oh, no worries, no worries. That's perfectly fine. Okay, yes. All right. Okay, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, click the picture. Thank you so much, everyone, for participating. Have a good rest of the weekend. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thanks, everyone.